to them through an app store, I guess maybe they could do Android or Amazon, would be if you published their own custom market, the Archos market. Anybody done this? I did a little Googling on it, and evidently when these guys were trying to bootstrap their market, they were doing some poor behavior. Like supposedly they were like somehow getting apps from the Android market, uploading it and sending emails to devs. Hey, we just uploaded your app's been uploaded. You're approved. It's going to be up on the market here in a little bit. And yeah, I read a couple blog posts. These guys were like, I didn't send you my app. Was that somebody else that do it? No, you did it. Yeah, kind of poor behavior. So everything I read on there from a developer point of view just makes me really nervous. I don't know. Maybe they've cleaned their nose since then.
I guess it's a good argument for the Amazon App Store because these Archos tabs you can go get the Amazon App Store.
Yeah, good
point. They've got a nice market for them.
Good point. Very good point. Do you know if the Amazon App Store is available internationally, or if it's U.S. only? I don't think it's nearly as many countries as Android market. Complicated stuff. GetJar. GetJar's been around for a long time. Anybody use them? They're old school. Good, bad?
Got a lot of extra crap on there. So, can you charge for your apps on GetJar? You can't, right?
I assume. I think so. Because I've seen them do lots of press releases. We're selling it. It's awesome kind of stuff.
I think Angry Birds was on there first, a long time ago for the Android.
Yeah.
Angry Birds overran that store and brought it down.
Oh, nice. All right, so that was an option. Here's an interesting one. I have some people asking me about this one. So evidently, RIM's doing a compatibility layer for the Playbook, and so you'll be able to run an Android app on there. So in theory, you'll be able to upload your, recompile, resign, or whatever, upload your Android app to RIM, and So I'm not saying that there's a ton of playbooks to sell to, but low cost, so it's all gravy if you make some sales, right? So this isn't going to be available till maybe midsummer. My contact at RIM says that they're still working on it. They showed this off at their BlackBerry conference in spring. Barnes & Noble Nook. This is one that I'm looking to do. Anybody done this one?
You have to apply. I applied. I haven't heard back yet. You have to apply.
Oh, really? You have to apply to be a developer there?
Yeah. So they filter their apps, like App Store. You can download their SDK and test it and everything for free. But before you publish, you have to get permission. So it's like a form. You fill out why your app's good for their customers and stuff. So.
Good to know. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this, mostly because I like anything that sells more of my app and doesn't cost me a ton more. It's good to know that there's an approval process. Better get cracking. Unsigned app distribution. So I did this for beta. I think I already mentioned that. You basically just copy it up to your website. People can download it and install it straight from their device. I put in some code that basically tests the date, and if it goes past a certain date, the app refuses to work. It also, every time the app ran, it would do a little toast pop-up saying, beta stops on such and such a date. You either need to get a new beta or go get it from the Android market, right? Seemed to work pretty well, except unless you're an AT&T device today. Fixed in the future. Anybody have any suggestions on how to sell apps directly to customers? Anybody done that? Bothered to do that? It seems like a lot of work. Just saying. But I would think that would actually be a really cool. Cool idea for a. I would pay money for this, good money. for a server service that would host an app maybe behind a password. So it shows up, you enter the password of, you know, I'm Ancestry.com employee, and then you get a free download, right? Because Ancestry.com has paid for a site license of my Angry Birds app. I would pay good money for that if anybody wants to write that. Probably not enough for you to pay your mortgage, but you know. I think that, you know, I would love to find something like that because I'm going to run into this. All right. So.
I stepped out for a second.
Yeah.
There's also the Moto Dev. Did you show that one?
Moto Dev.
So Motorola's got a market that they're launching. It's going to be, you know, Motorola.com/marketplace or something. I can't remember, or market.motorola.com.
Other than being Motorola, is there anything interesting about it?
I think their devices are going to ship with, like, it's kind of like how the Android market has its own things. That's part of the downfall of the other markets, is it's hard to navigate to from the phone for other users, but they're just going to have it. They're also opening with Argentina, Brazil, and China or something, and like I think I didn't see that. I haven't gone through the 99 list, but Google had some issues with China just because of different things in the past, and so Motorola was like the first door in, basically.
I know that Apple actually filters their app list even more than they normally do for the Chinese market. So it wouldn't surprise me if Google.
I think they did. That's the one thing they advertised. It's going to be the first door into China. So I don't know if that 99 beat them to it.
Thank you. All right. Anything else? Anybody? All right. Let's go into development resources. So here's first one, books. So when I got into iPhone, so this was like over 2 years ago, what I did is I went out on KSL.com. I got the cheapest MacBook I could find. And I went out on Amazon.com and I bought every single iPhone development book there was, which was 3 books. Okay, that was a while ago. It's changed since then. So I thought, hey, you know, I want to buy some books for Android when I was going to get into Android. So last fall I went and I bought some books. I bought the Appress books, Pro Android 2 and Beginning Android 2. I bought them mostly because the iPhone Appress book is like super awesome. It's like the best teaches you how to do iPhone development book there is. These were very mediocre. That's the politically correct way for saying they're crap. Anybody have a good suggestion for a book? Is it even needed?
Roxpress has a good one. It's Beginning Android.
Learning Android?
Learning Android's okay. Beginning Android development by Roxpress. It's geared to developers.
That's cool.
If it says beginning,
yeah,
you gotta be a developer.
The thing about these is they're like half done. Like they'd start kind of things and they wouldn't actually show you anything useful. And they wouldn't finish stuff. The Pro one was awesome. It like all they had was snippets of code. They never actually had any full projects. So you're like, hey, how does that actually tie into the whole thing? Yeah, too bad.
And like the last half of the book was just like hawking the Titanium Mobile stuff.
Yeah. If I wanted Titanium Mobile, I'd get a book on Titanium Mobile.
You know where the author came from?
What's that?
You know where the author came from?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you want the complete package, Learning Android is that one. The one called Learning Android, it takes it from start to finish and building a Twitter application.
We actually built a real application.
O'Reilly.
Oh, that's right.
In fact, if you look for the application in the market, there's been multiple people that have published the app that you build in the book. So.
Nice. Welcome to the Android market. Yeah, you don't get to get away with that crap on iPhone.
But the Android site, developer site, is awesome.
Yeah. So next, Google I/O. I hope everybody here that's interested in Android development has checked out these Google I/O sessions. They're really good. They have their own YouTube channel, shocking. And you can watch these sessions. Here's 3 that I really suggest watching if you haven't. The Android Pro Tips, the Android Market for Developers, and Android Development Tools. Development Tools was kind of cool because it showed you the stuff that they're currently working on that's not quite out yet. So kind of giving you some hope for some of the tools. But the others are useful just to make sure that you're up on the publishing, the lay of the land, how Google is approaching you putting your apps out there. So yeah, I thought these were very valuable. I wish there were more of them. That's kind of the cool thing about the iPhone stuff is that the WWDC is a lot more, and so more likely to cover your topics. But what you've got is gold. I thought the Google documentation was marginal at best. It kind of felt very open sourcey. Maybe that was my bias from working at Novell. The source, yeah, that's cool. I would like to see Google produce some better examples, more documentation, more explaining of why doing something is a good thing, kind of stuff. But it at least is okay. It's accurate. Some companies don't do that. So good, accurate documentation. Sometimes it's not always as easy to figure out, okay, so why does this class even exist? What's its goal in life? What does it hope to grow to be? But, hey, that's okay. Sample code, if it comes with the SDK, just kind of downloads with it. I like the API demos one especially because it gives you kind of a breadth of what do all the widgets look like, right? You're designing your app, you got to know what kind of widgets are available to me out of the box. What can I use as a starting point? So totally recommend that. And the Android source is kind of useful. I mean, it's not going to teach you anything directly like a teacher would, or a good book. But so for example, I needed to create. So there's this one class it's kind of that drop-down autocomplete kind of thing. I needed a version of that would make web calls. And so I'm like trying to figure out how to use the default one, and I couldn't. So I'm like, well, okay, so I need to maybe create a custom version of that. And it was nice. I could go to the source. I could see exactly what each of the methods is doing. And so I could say, all right, well, I'm going to create my own version of this that then goes and does this and this and this. And it worked. It was good. And that was really cool to have access to that source, something that is definitely not available on the iPhone. Stack Overflow is the source of all knowledge. Love Stack Overflow.
Unless you have a Stack Overflow, so we found out.
Yeah.
All you get is Stack Overflow.
Don't go down that path. Yeah, good for questions. Although, funny thing, I noticed I asked a question on Stack Overflow like last night. I searched and I searched and I couldn't find a solution. I asked this question and then I kept searching, trying to figure out the bug, and immediately my question was the #1 search result on Google for the search terms that I had previously been using. Yeah, that's some funny stuff going on there, huh?